Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne. Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions, and welcome to your mid-September readings for all the beautiful love connections and all the featured signs that I read for, which is every sign in the zodiac, from Aries to Pisces. So at the beginning of the wheel, of course, is you, beautiful, fiery, passionate, motivated, cardinal, leader sign of Aries. So... Well, Aries, here's the thing. I didn't get a lot of people watching Aries, I should say, watching the beginning of the months from what I was noticing. And I don't usually look for that, but that's okay. That varies. Everything varies with this channel, with life, with, you know, ups and downs, the what am I trying to say? Just the different, the times of life, the different phases and of the moon and all of the things that incorporate this beautiful thing we call life, right? So I'm cool with that, but I'm always curious to see if that changes and what the reasons are. So feel free to let me know. And always, if you're liking what you're seeing, do me that huge favor of pushing the like and the thumbs up and subscribe, because it's very, very supportive. And it helps the algorithms, which I couldn't say the other day. And that's what YouTube wants, and that's what I would like. That's why I do a channel, you know, but I'm going to do it regardless. So everything is free at this point, and it's just something I have great passion for. So enough of my spiel. I'm going to start with you, beautiful featured sign of Aries. And I'm going to also pick your highlighted connection. Now, just to be clear for those that are new, I'm a tarot, astrology, and intuitive reader of many, many years. And when I say astrology, I'm an enthusiast when it comes to compatibility of each sign, because it's pretty phenomenal who hangs out together. And yes, we all can get along. However, there are some that just really gravitate more than others towards each other. And it's what brings people to my readings, because it's true. And so Spirit has one specific highlighted connection for you, in addition to all of your other connections, Aries. And once again, all forms of love does not only mean romantic, but really this month being more and more, we're in Virgo season as I speak. So that's really beautiful. And we did just have, I'm recording these before the mid-month so I can get them all up in a timely fashion for the mid-month, but we just finished our new moon in Virgo. Every new moon, every full moon has a very important and dynamic aspect to them that works with us. It can work in beautiful ways depending on what our sign is and what our natal chart speaks of. But it also has sometimes where it's just more notably more challenging or more conversely, you know, inharmonious with us, or for whatever reason. And there's a lot of reasons. So I simplify it with the general, believe it or not. Virgo is wonderful. It's about practicality. It's about fine-tuning. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the fastest planet. It's all about the mind and expansion and growth. Learning, you know, continuous learning, continuous dedication, which is what Virgo is about, you know, a sign of service, for heaven's sakes, to the nth degree. And then that grounded, practical part that just everybody needs in their life. You know, we get all crazed up and we're very much a part of the outside world of what's happening. But when we're grounded within ourselves, we allow time to be in nature. We allow time to have fun, to take our vacations, to take the deep breaths. If only for a couple of moments, it can change that feeling, that anxiety, that part of us that we're not feeling content about at that moment. And that's what I love about this new moon. And then the intentions you put out for starting something new, always. It's going to definitely have long-lasting effects when it has the Virgo aspect to it. Because that's about grounding things in and just, you know, for the long term. You know, there's a lot to say about the long loyalty and devotion and determination of earth signs in general. So anyway, that's a big part of what a lot of us are feeling, because it's the sun season, which is the first house, which is what these readings are, sun signs. Though you can certainly read your moon, ascending, and I would say Venus signs to incorporate even more understanding, because we're all of those things and more. However, there's a lot of Libra coming into the picture, and Libra is your polar opposite, Aries, and it's about relationships, because yes, Libra has a lot of emphasis in their personalities and their characteristic traits about relationships. It's essential to them, but more and overly important, I think, is their need for balance and compromise within relationships. Their ability to see all angles and points of view, and to diplomatically but very straightforwardly and mind-wise, thinking and strategizing and really focusing on ways to improve a conversation, a relationship of all different types. I hope I'm making sense. This is essential. Libra represents the scales, and the scales represent, the balance or the imbalance in our lives, in all areas of our lives. So it's a continuum, right? Always wanting to find that balance in our relationships, our work, our daily lives, our health, well-being and everything all enters into it as a holistic viewpoint. But there's a lot of Venus ruled Libra coming through. We have Mercury and Venus right now. It will go retrograde at the end of the month on the 27th. I'm already noticing, and unfortunately for me, I feel, yesterday was the new moon, and also it was the first day of the shadow aspect of Mercury. And yes, I had a change in my schedule at work. Just like clockwork, I think to myself, do I bring this on? Is it a self-made prophecy? I'm sure you guys can relate, but it isn't really. It's just being in tune and aware that that's happening. Certainly the first days, and then the second or two after each changing feeling and energy that comes through. So we'll work with it. It'll be great. We have the fact that, relationships can be worked through at this time. And with Mars going into Venus on the 14th, into Libra on the 14th, Aries, that's your ruling planet. So you can see the pull and the magnetism about everything I've spoken of, and the desire and the fire and the impetus to want to really, really work for it and be strong about it and take on those conversations. It's the mind, once again, right? With Libra, wanting to have the conversations, wanting to learn the best way to express themselves and then be a good listener at the same time. So you can see on here, we have, I can barely see past my nose, but we do have, where are you now? Aries and Libra, polar oppositions. Always this kind of continuum of, energy that's coming and pulling each other, to and from each other, which is a kind of a cool thing. It's that tension I always have talked about. You want a certain amount, and too much of it's going to break, and you're just going to blow up, and too little is just kind of wah. So that's the balance, the equilibrium, the justice, and so that's pretty cool. But so other than that, let me just find your highlighted sign that Spirit is guiding me with. And this particular highlighted connection is not necessarily someone you're with right now, or even necessarily know. Maybe it's someone that you feel, or you're just feeling the energy of this particular sign, or you have it in your chart, or you're going to meet, because these new moons pretty amazingly bring new opportunities, new people, new circumstances, new everything. And it could be just Spirit letting you know right off the bat, because I'm just the conduit, right? So for you, beautiful Aries, for the mid-month of September, a highlighted connection, in addition to your other connections, I will be reading 4 major categories for, and then going on to the oracle messages for all of you. So just stick around. And so for you, beautiful Aries, you have Scorpio. I like that, and I'll tell you why. Venus has been in Libra, Mercury's in Libra. We're going to have Mars in Libra, and then we go into the sun season of Libra on the sun season of Libra on the 22nd, which is also autumn equinox, where we have that beautiful balance once again throughout fall, where we have the exact amount of light and dark before we go into winter and predominantly dark. However, we do have Venus going into Scorpio, and that is a very, very passionate, fiery, originally, historically, ruling planet to Scorpio was Mars, your ruling planet. I see many Aries and Scorpios. I'm pretty sure the beginning of the month, it might have very well been Scorpio's highlighted connection was you, Aries. This is a beautiful combination, and it's fiery and it's passionate, and it has fuel behind it for sure, but it's also intense and deep and caring and demonstrative, physical. So it's a really wonderful companionship, certainly romantic and intimate connection, but also just long-term, business-wise can be exceptionally well. Pluto is the more modern ruling planet of Scorpio, so it's very much about transformation. And let's face it, we've had a lot of that going on for all of us, and it's no exception when Scorpio comes along, and then there'll be more planets moving into Scorpio. So be aware of that and enjoy that, I should say. It goes from the kind of, soft-tempered, don't want to really rock the boat at all, Libra energy, and then a lot of intense, and this is exactly what's happening, and I'm going to dig deep and find that truth and bring it out and be better for it kind of energy with Scorpio. So let's see what the messages are for you. I am using the Cat Tarot this month, for the remainder of the month, I should say. I change it up from beginning of the month readings to mid-month readings. One of my favorite decks. I am a cat lover. I have a cat I adopted last year. I know a lot of people are. I've had him in here, but he's a little bit too rambunctious still. And I just think it's a great deck. So I hope you will enjoy that as well. And those that are not cat animal lovers, I will look for a dog deck. I have not seen that. I'm sure it's out there though. There's decks for everything. So overall energy is the first card in category. So for this wonderful highlighted connection and all the connections for you, beautiful first sign of the zodiac, Aries, we have, okay, 10 of Swords. What better way to start, right? Because what it's saying is it's time to end the difficulties in, I don't know, conversation, physical. You may have something that's been going wrong with you physically. I'm not a doctor. I'm just definitely giving you the definitions that I have come to know, in addition to intuition that comes through. That may not have anything to do with this particular known, definition, but clearly you've had it. You've had it. It's usually depicted as a man or woman. I think it's a man. All the swords, all the air. It's an air element. It's the swords. It's the mind. It's the thoughts. It's the words. It's the way we speak. It's the arguments. It's the confliction. It's the trying to find the balance, trying to make sense of it, trying to come to an understanding. You're done. And then guess what? You're on to the next cycle. I'm incorrect. I apologize. This happens a lot with me. It's not the 10, it's the 9. 9 is the completion. You have just a little bit more to go. There's something you still need to get off your chest. You're okay with that, because I know Aries, and I know I have an Aries moon. You have no problems speaking your mind and being the real authentic person that you are. You don't sugarcoat. I love you. That's the youthful aspect of you that I've always loved. Like a child, they speak what they're thinking. They say what they think what they say, and it's real, okay? And sometimes there's that energy with you, that fiery, passionate part of you, where you might lose it, but as soon as you do, it's over. It's done. You don't harbor, any kind of resentment. And you're just at a point where you're thinking, yeah, I got to get over this. I don't want to continue this. And then it becomes a 10 where you just literally have had it and then it's done. So some situation, perhaps from the new moon or even the full moon, that occurred last month in Aquarius for the second time, very much about the mind, also an air sign, just really got you thinking, or maybe that epiphany has been very strong, and you know that it was for the best. It always is for the best. Any guidance we get from this beautiful universe is always for our betterment and to improve and to grow and to learn the lessons, as they say. And that's where you are. That's where you are. You're ready and more able than ever. And you're really You want it to complete. You want the completion to happen. You want those conversations to take place. You really, really do, so that you can get past anything that's just not 100%, or it's just things in your mind. You're just creating all these concerns and worries, which is not unheard of. I'm not going to lie, for fire signs or air sign, certainly air signs. But maybe something that needed to be said and wasn't, and it was just said in the wrong way with this highlighted Scorpio. I mean, they don't mince words. They may just, like you, just bam, and it was bam, and it was like, whoa. Didn't like how that went. Let's have a redo. And that's the best part. You can always have a redo. You just have to be careful in the love language aspect of life, you know, for everyone's sake, that we are aware of what we say, because it can be very hurtful. And that's just something to keep in mind. Entering into the second half, there is a lot of Uranus energy, the planet of Uranus, which is, you know, that's fiery, and that's unexpected, unpredictable, you know, changes and transformations and, you know, conversations just out of the blue. You're just like, whoa, where'd that come from? You know, you might very well be picking up on that, but you're not about to just, you know, walk away. You're not a quitter, no way. Nor is Scorpio, by the way. They will work things through, you know, and if it's not going to work, then okay, that's it, and that'll probably be it forever. I'm not going to lie. There's no turning back necessarily for Scorpio, but it's not always the case either. So they may have some major other planets in their natal chart that would completely contradict what I just said. However, loyalty is essential for both of you. So you may want to start a channel on YouTube, and you just need to get these fine-tuning with the detail-oriented aspect of being in Virgo season, the perfectionist sign, right? No such thing, but it's still very much in the air, like we need to make that happen somehow, you know? And then live with the consequences of realizing it's going to be fine, even though it isn't perfect. Because it's a healing energy with Virgo too. Healing our relationship, healing our finances, whatever it may be. Let's go into the second category, which is possible blessings or obstacles for you. And let's see how this story unfolds for the remainder of the month. And you may not feel it right away or resonate. Always want to read, like I said, or watch your moon, ascendant, and Venus for that extra added, you know, information. And you have, what do you have here? You have the Six of Cups. Nope. Yeah, because I see Pentacles on the floor, and that's usually the earth. But there are 6 cups here, and that's emotion, and that's definitely water, and that's definitely Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. Interestingly enough, we have the full moon in Pisces coming up. And we've had Neptune, the obscure, you know, hidden, very cloudy kind of illusionary kind of energy that Neptune represents in Pisces. So there could be just things you're like, I'm not 100% sure that I'm actually seeing what's really happening. There's this undercurrent, and it is about water, that seems to be affecting you because you're not about that. You want straightforward, let's get real energy. And somehow that's not what you're feeling. But the Six of Cups is about beautiful feelings. It's about wonderful emotions. It's about sentimentality. It's about memories and perhaps people coming from your past. Relationships, yes, a person from your past wanting to rekindle or reconnect, friendship or otherwise. It's very conducive for this card, and it's about the happiness and the restoring feelings of happiness, you know? That would be a blessing. And I guess the only obstacle would be if your heart is open and you're allowing this, because all of us have these energies around at all times. We're all subject and privy to them. But what we choose to do and what we choose to watch and believe in and on is really up to us. So there's some beautiful, harmonious, and emotionally fulfilling energy that is here and available to you. And don't be surprised with this. Many planets in retrograde, by the way. I guess the 6th planet will be Mercury at the end of the month. That will definitely bring people and circumstances and situations back into your life to either go through again, learn the challenge again, learn the beauty again, the gift again. It's so dependent and individually, you know, depending on you and what's happening. But I like that because you start out kind of like this, oh, I got to get this straight. I got to make this right. I got to say what I mean what I say, and just have these conversations on any and all levels. And then you're going to have some real emotional fulfillment with these conversations. That's going to come through. That is beautiful. The third category is that of finances. Finances are absolutely part of this practical energy coming through with Virgo. Our jobs are, you know, the value we put on that, which is huge with the Scorpionic energy. 8th house, you know, other people's money, inheritance, you know, unexpected, you know, windfalls and things having to do with the cycles and the phases of life. And it's also energy, once again, you know, everything's energy. So how do you feel about it? What are you creating? How are you holding space for the finances or the thing you consider to be wealth in your life? And you have the Hierophant. Gosh, I don't remember this card. I honestly don't. I've been using this deck for a while. But I do not remember this one. And it's the Hierophant, which is 5, which is change and challenge. And it's higher learning, higher education. It's spirituality. It's your own intuitive and psychic and higher power. I don't even know how you could say that if I tried. Higher power, connection with spirit. That's a part of all of us. And look at this. It could represent rite of passage, you know, religious dogma and spirituality in regards to commitment and such as marriage. I'll just simplify it. This is very much a part of that. There could be some really deep conversations about, okay, is this the time? Are we meant to be in a connection of a long-term marriage, for example, or whatever it could be, because it's different for everybody. This is coming through with that you're on the last stages of really making this very crucial transformational change through your words, through your conversations, through your commitments. The 6 of Cups is about perhaps because something reminded you or you're a reminiscence about the feelings that you had before that are coming back and you don't want them to be lost or what have you with the 6 of Cups. And then the absolute dedication and recognition through spirituality, through, you know, commitment to your work, to your relationships, that's bringing in all the financial security that will lead you to want to be active in making that choice, okay? Because I know for a fact, female or male now, I cannot only say male, and I will not. Finances are imperative for so many people to feel like they can start a family, for example, or a relationship that they feel they're going to pull their weight in that regard. Yes, that still very much occurs. And this is what I'm feeling you need, and you are feeling you are at that point. You have met the criteria. You are definitely in your mind and, you know, in your spirituality, in your trust of yourself, which is essential. You're ready. You're ready. And that's interesting to fall in that financial, but it could also be the wealth of the relationship. Always. It does not have to always cater to, you know, tangible physical money. So that's pretty special right there. I like that. I would love to know if that's, well, certainly a portion of you. And then the final category for you is this beautiful category of surprises and wishes. And I'm telling you, there's so much Uranus energy that's with surprises and losses, but gains and, like I said, changes and epiphanies and new ideas, air energy, you know, Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. Mind, expansion, constriction, balance, Libra, all of these things are happening at the same time as it always does. And it's all leading to the best and the most that we can have, but recognizing and being very open to some incredible changes and opportunities that can come through. So for you, in the final category, Aries and Scorpio and every one of your connections, surprises and wishes is the King of Wands. Wow. Talk about power. Talk about maturity and just absolute, this is happening. And by the way, wands are, of course, fire energy and elements, and they are you, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Excuse me. I just feel like you are really in your element. You are feeling grounded. I hope you've had a chance to get out and just kind of take time for yourself, or planning that, or continually taking little stays away to go with this energy of the retrograde, which is about relaxing and redoing and renewing and reviewing and everything. Perfect for this time. Beautiful weather most places. Being safe, of course. You're in your element. You're in your element, and wonderful surprises and just spirited, optimistic kind of possibilities are there. Look at, there's like a lizard or gecko. It's like the ultimate for this cat. He's like, yes, I'm reaching for the best, and never do otherwise, right? That's not in your MA. That's not in your DNA, I should say. Wonderful surprises coming along, as long as you're willing to take them in and allow them and be one with them, right? And that sounds a little woo, but it's true. Not just being that energy, that surprise and that wish that you've put into your consciousness from how long ago, who knows? Maybe it's brand new, but it's coming. It is coming, because we can do that. So I'll finish with your oracle messages, beautiful Aries, and this is once again for you as a featured sign right now, and also for all of your loving connections. And I pray that there'll always be many for you to have, because honestly, without that, life is just not, it doesn't work. It doesn't really work. We are all meant to connect and to love, and the power is overwhelmingly strong and beautiful and healing and courageous, and love is where it's at. That's all we need is love. And so this is a beautiful oracle, which is called the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. So I thought it was imperative. We need to really open our hearts wide and continue to, and to share and to be empathetic to others. And you have, okay, awaiting results. I can kind of see that. And now with this retrograde, it's kind of like, okay, wouldn't necessarily want to jump forward just yet, but I bet you when Scorpio energy, that intense and that strong and that helping other people's situations that came through the latter part of October and beginning of November, it's going to be really beautiful time to utilize everything you've been putting forth so far. So it's number 7. 7 is about working through challenges and worries and concerns, which is beautiful. I'm going to read to you what it says specifically, though. And this is under the category, whoops, I'm dropping everything. The orange rimmed cards represent the pentacles. So there's the earth element of Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. And there you're feeling that. You're taking all your fiery energy and all your ideas and your compassion. It takes all of these things, your spirituality, your trust in your higher self, and you're just making it happen, okay? But you can wait. It's a matter of being patient. You're on that ninth ending of the cycle for the new one. So let's go to where we have the, nope, it must be at the very beginning. Sorry about that. Where'd you go? Awaiting results. The key words are patience, assessment, outcome, and alternatives. Well, that sounds a lot like retrograde energy anyway. And like I said, all the planets, not all, the major planets you know, the outer planets, which are very important as well. In addition to Mercury, there'll be 6. So it is a good time to really go internal. That's what retrogrades really help us with. And so you put much energy into creating and attracting the relationships you desire and are eager to see positive results. Of course you're eager. You're just that way. Patience is needed, however. Reshaping attitudes and beliefs takes time. Refining yourself so that you'll attract just the right person is a process. If you find yourself becoming frustrated at the apparent lack of visible change, step back and focus on something other than your relationships for a while. When you're feeling more detached, you'll be in a better position to notice any improvements. I love it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward and it seems pretty conducive, I would say. It's helpful for all of us, but it's directed to you, Aries. And I know if you take a moment, you might really understand it more than I would, you know, but if not, it's still something to think about, right? Even if you're like, not now, maybe later though. Words of wisdom. I mean, I love the oracles. They're there to guide us and love us and inspire us. So that's beautiful. And then, of course, the final category is the oracle of super attractor manifestation, where we can create, feel into existence the life that we want. And patience does come into it. I can't say when, but I can say it will occur. We're doing it every moment of every day. We manifest every single moment. Gorgeous card. All right, dear beautiful Aries. So in closing, thank you very much again for your time. I appreciate you. I really do. I love readings. I love reading for you. And I love this reading because you have a really good balance. You've got fire, air, major arcana, and water. The only pentacle, which is right here, it's all good, okay? The orange outside pentacle, the grounded, and then the energy coming from Virgo, which is perfect. So your wonderful message in closing is, I believe I am worthy of feeling good, and you most certainly are. And in any moment in time you feel otherwise, take this picture and say this over and over and over and over again, because you will change your life, your energy, and everyone around you. And that's a good thing. And that's who you are anyway. You're an optimist, beautiful, fun, you know, powerful, powerful being. So I hope you enjoyed this. Come on back for your, dare I say, October reading, or your moon and ascendant, whatever. It's always a pleasure being here with you, and I thank you again. And until next time, take extremely good care, and bye for now.